Welcome. I'm Bernice Ross, the CEO and President of Brokerage Up and RealEstateCoach.com.
My name is Greg McDaniel. I'm the co-host of Real Estate Uncensored and a real estate agent for the last 20 years. Together, we're Real Estate Coach Uncensored.
Well, we have a great session for you today. Greg and I have been talking about this, and we're going to have some fun. Let me give you a little bit of background. About a year and a half ago, we took my property that has been in the family in California, one I own here in Texas, plus our other assets, and put it into a trust because my brother and I, my husband, don't have any children. So what that triggered is I am now getting marketing pieces from agents in California trying to sell the house in California, and I'm getting stuff from people here in Austin. But what's really interesting is when I'm getting marketing pieces from people in California who think that they can market to someone in Texas. Hello, did you check the address?
No, apparently not, Bernice. They are address blind. That is a very bad thing to be in this industry.
So what we're going to talk about today is what they did right and where it went really, really wrong. So do you want to start with what's right, or do you want to dive right into what's wrong?
I want to, let's do this. Let's get fugly. Let's get weird. And then let's correct this and show people how they can fix it, you know? Because here's the thing. I honestly, truly, to the core of me, believe that people think that they're doing a good job at marketing, when in reality, they are stepping in a big pile of, icky stuff.
They're not doing a very good job.
They're doing a doo-doo job. And
they're doing a fugly job.
Fugly job. They're doing a fugly job. And it's not their fault. I really don't think it's their fault. I think they're being misled by, air quotes, industry marketing leaders who are saying, do this. This is what gets people's attention. And I think that we've become so incestuous. We all look the same. We all act the same. We all, kind of smell the same probably if we get in a large room. But you've got to stand out. You've been doing this business for a long time. But I love it when I get her to cover her face. It's amazing. That's when I know I hit the sweet spot on something. I'm like, I hit the mark on that one. But I think if you can stand out, that's how you're going to be able to make a difference, right? So you've read some incredibly funny marketing pieces that you've received. So let's break them down and just go from the top to the bottom. Because the last one, cherry on top.
Oh. Well, I want to start with, you said about what, all people, they all look the same. So I got two different marketing pieces, and they both were from the same company. One was from, Remax, one was from KW. They were from the same template. So they were absolutely identical. So to your point, that's not standing out, So one of the things though, let me get, I want to get to some of the print things that they've done here, because these are just amazing. So,
amazing in bad way or good way?
So I got one of the marketing pieces I got here in Austin, where we live. I'm in a 55 plus community. There's my age. So in any event, and then some. But then, so we're in a 55 plus community, and it's for the community that's at the subdivisions right next to ours. It's not as nice. It's not as expensive. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have nearly the amenities. So the greeting on this is "Welcome home."
Oh, thank you.
And I'm looking at this and thinking, "Welcome home." I wouldn't live there on a pad.
I have so many.
And then this agent decided that they were going to take the beautifully written marketing material that Coldwell Banker had supplied. CB gives these 13 points that they're going to provide. They do a really great job on this. And this is, if you pay for their marketing materials, they're done right. So what she did is first of all, she changed the formatting. And then my favorite sentence was, one of the reasons they selected myself.
What? Wait, she's talking about herself in the third person?
Yeah, she is. One of the reasons they selected myself. I mean, this agent can't write. Don't fool with what's done right by your company. Hint, hint, hint.
Are you talking to me, Bernice? I think you're talking to me here.
You would never do that. Also, and Coldwell Banker's, their boilerplate, tight, concise, beautifully done. She lengthened it by 30%, and she just destroyed the grammar in it. So.
The funny thing is about real estate agents, we all, and like we were talking about before, we all think we're doing a good job because we want to put our own flavor to it, our own spin. air quotes. And yeah, you can do that, but don't step on the toes of the actual professionals who get paid big money to make this thing look right, sound right, and smell right. Because you know what? My girlfriend, she gets on my case all the time. I mean, like baseball bat with nails in it, beating me, you know, because and because I'll go back and I'll look at this and I'll posted something on Instagram or something like that, and she's like, Greg, you look like a blanking idiot. Look at your grammar. And I'm like, oh crap. I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, wrong word, misspellings, bad grammar. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. She's like, you need me. I'm like, yes, I do. And that my story is like all of us in real estate need someone to look out and look over what we put out. My mom and my dad's been in the business for 47 years. My mom is an English major. She let nothing leave his desk until she double checked it.
You know, you need to hire your mom, my friend.
Oh, I don't think I could afford her.
That's too much work, you know. And you know, the one of the things that one of the pieces that I got had to say, this is again, they were playing off an airline theme. And they said, do you need more legroom or are you ready for an upgrade? And the property that they were marketing to me was a downgrade by every standard that you look at. Again, it's like not knowing your audience. Where are you spending your marketing dollars? Hey, you know, you're 6'5", my husband's 6'4". I get legroom, but it's not in the house.
No. But that's again, that is actually really funny because a lot of agents, they'll do every door direct, right? When they're mailing here in the States. I think that's worldwide. No, it probably isn't. But anyways, it's just a blanket sheet that goes out to everybody in the neighborhood. And yeah, you're going to hit some, but you're not going to hit some. Some's going to be effective, some not going to be effective. Why wouldn't you, Bernice, and this is a question directly for you. Why wouldn't you spend a couple extra dollars? And I'm not talking about a lot, but a couple extra dollars and hit the right people versus hitting the wrong people? Because like with my girlfriend's case, it annoys her to such an epic titanic level that she'd probably never want to do business with me, thank God. But, you know, it's just one of those things. I mean, would you pay more to hit the right people?
Absolutely. And if you're not willing to pay more to get the right people, you're throwing your monies, you know, you might as well just throw your money in a waste paper basket and light it on fire. Or flush it down the toilet. Take your pick, because that's what you're doing. You're wasting your marketing dollars.
It's true.
I mean, absolutely. One of the things that I love is, you know, talking about missing the mark again. Here's the actual text from this particular one. What might have started off as the perfect home to meet the needs of your lifestyle may now be too small for the changing demands of a growing family.
Growing family.
Yeah, the only way I'm growing, honey, is out.
Waistline. Hey, you know what? It's knowing your audience. It
ain't happening by, you know.
It's like advertising in New York City. I got a sprawling, beautiful 20-acre ranch, room for livestock. Enjoy the country living. You're like, are you for real? You just mailed to Manhattan.
Well, maybe they, you know, they have this secret desire to, you know, be a rancher at some point in time, get away from the city for fun. I do want to go back to, you know, this business of targeting your audience, because there is a really good resource I'd like to give them right now. It's called REI Source. Again, that's REI Source. And what this is, it's available through your title company, and they pass the cost along to you. It's less than 10 cents a name. You can target by age, by income, by number of children in the family. You can target even, in some cases, see, they can get right into magazine, did someone just sign up for a baby magazine? Hint.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can get that deep. I don't know if REI Source goes in that deep, but I believe that they're one of the companies that do. But certainly, you know, that data that, and you can say, I want a list of this. And rather than fooling around with Facebook, and they're doing weird stuff now, I'd rather get a list that is tied to an address that I've paid for, because the title company's got the address and the right names, and then market to that. So.
That would be fantastic. I mean, I didn't even know. I thought I was pretty tech savvy, but every time I come on a show with you, you always just beat me like a redheaded stepchild, and I love it because I get to learn and go take this stuff back somewhere else. But REI source, and you can get that granule. I mean, do you know if I buy dog food or cat food? I wonder if I can get that low.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what kind of data they're harvesting. With artificial intelligence, they're now harvesting so many things are being tracked everywhere. It's just horrific. But that's another thing. You had a really great story about you're out having a pizza and you bumped into something.
Okay, so I was at this pizza place in San Francisco. And they were running late on the pizzas, so I sat down and I ordered a beer because it's gonna be like 20 minutes. I'm like, might as well get a beer and enjoy a nice IPA. And they had a local newspaper for this little community in San Francisco. And I opened up, I'm flipping through it, and I come to this near the back of the paper, and it had this half a page ad. It's for a real estate agent, naturally, right? And the agent had advertised to the fact homes sold in the last year. And he had I'm going to guess 50 homes on there or something like that. And they're all like minimum $1.5 to $12 million for this neighborhood. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty normal for this area. And I looked at this, and I had my girlfriend with me, and I sort of said, hey, when you see this, what do you think of this real estate agent? Now, I knew what was going on. I knew that he had gone and he just scraped the MLS, and he just put all the high-end properties that had sold in the area in the last year on that page. Now, he didn't break the law or anything. He just said, here are the homes that sold. Now, I sold these homes, right? Now, it's misleading. And I knew that. And I talked to my girlfriend, and I said, hey, what do you think of this agent? Would you hire this agent? And she knew I was playing a trick on her. And so she kind of looked at it. She's a very intelligent woman, so she's no dum-dum. And she looked at it and she goes, I would probably think that he's pretty busy, but why are you asking me? And I explained to her what I just said, and she's like, oh, that man sucks. And so I guess what I would do is you can trick the public, right? But if you show up and you don't have a good listing presentation, your pitch isn't tight, you don't have testimonials, you don't have actual clients that have closed in the last X amount of time that they can refer to, and they find out that you're lying to them or misleading them, how's that relationship supposed to start off? Pretty poorly. Precisely.
Well, one of the favorite ones I saw was actually the last one we were going to talk about, but it really does follow up this. So I get this, I keep getting these postcards from this agent, and specifically, it lists that she's done let's see, let me double check here, make sure I've got this right. That she's done 323 sales in this area where my brother lives.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah,
Bernice.
Just amazing.
Amazing.
323 sales. There's nobody that's done 323 sales there. I've lived there. I go to see my brother. I know what the signs are. There is no one that is dominating that area. And then I start looking at the fine print because this is pulled from the MLS. And I thought, okay, what did she do here? On the little tiny print, it says, dating back she did the search from 2003 to the present. I
mean,
2003 to the present. You've got to be kidding.
I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed with the creativity. I mean, that's just we average it out to 10 deals a year or something like that. So less than one a month. I mean, good for her. Kudos for the creative marketing, but come on, bro. Really? I mean, to 2003. I guess the thing that bothers you and me the most, since I've been doing this for nearly 20 years and you've been doing it for just a couple years beyond that.
Way more.
But
I started in my 20s, Greg. So, like I said, do the math.
And the thing is if you guys are going to be creative, but not deceptive. Because I mean, I think there was a movie I watched the other day, and it's a movie I've seen a lot of times. It's a military movie. And one of the monologues in the beginning of the movie is this Navy SEAL talking about reading a letter that he's writing to his dead best friends, to his dead best friend. And it says, the world is draped in camouflage. And I've always thought about that. I'm like, the world is draped in camouflage. So that's exactly what we're talking about right here, right now, isn't it?
Yeah. it's like you're letting the person make the conclusion rather than, it's like to make yourself appear better.
Mhm.
I love it when I hear speakers and you've got this long, they go into this long introduction for 3 to 5 minutes. It just drives me nuts. And it's just like, hey, here's my title. I've done XYZ for, and then they're going to make a judgment about me, very quickly as to whether or not I'm competent. And all the
Mhm.
titles and all the stuff I've done doesn't make a bit of difference. All they care is, did I connect with them? And that comes back to a best practice. It's always got to be with them. What's in it for the person reading the marketing piece?
Yes. We all get the me, I, look, I'm here. I'm the superstar of the show. I'm number
Oh,
one.
hey, I got a good one on the Me show.
Oh, what you got?
This is one of my favorites. This dates back several years ago. And this woman sent this 4-page, full color, glossy, 8.5 by 11, all four, like really glossy brochure,
Mhm.
all pictures of her sitting in her house and all this other stuff and walking her dog. And then she says, I never thought this career was going to be so rewarding. I originally thought I was just going to be selling homes. Was I ever surprised? I am actually helping to change lives.
Oh, God. I mean, come on, narcissist.
Me.
It's the narcissist show, It's like, hey,
I
I've
like
gotta
it,
be
the
best.
narcissist show.
It's true. It's unbelievable. And you know what? But we get sucked into it because, okay, think about it. All of us real estate agents, right? I think we're the only industry that have our photos on our cards. Right?
I've been on a tear about that since, and I've got some really old data on that, but this is really good. Oh, and this goes back probably to the early 2000s. So it's before we had all the Facebook and the other things out there. But there were a number of different marketing companies that were tracking results. And what they found is you put your picture on your marketing materials. And I was sitting in a session with the top branding company in the world that was rebranding one of my corporate clients' whole
Mhm.
brand. They were working on it. So I was invited to be in the room at that point in time. And I listened to them talk about the fact that when you send a postcard like that into someone else's home, that you are an uninvited guest, you get thrown in the trash can. And what
Oh,
happens is when they took the agent's pictures off the marketing material, their response rate jumped way up considerably. So
really?
putting your picture on your marketing pieces actually hurts you. You want to make it about the consumer. They want to see pictures of the house. My favorite comment, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember who made this, but I know it's Steve, I think it was Steve Kander in his book, Billionaire Real Estate Agent.
Mm-hmm.
But they had interviewed a bunch of different consumers, and their comment about people who did this kind of me marketing, especially with the pictures on the postcards, was, who do these people think they are? Movie stars?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in our brains, we generally think that because we're entrepreneurs, air quotes. This is our business, air quotes, and no one can tell me what to do, right? And those are all true. But if you're a true entrepreneur, have you ever seen the president of and CEO of Coca-Cola on any of their marketing? What have you seen the vice president of marketing for Nike anywhere?
Nope.
No. Have you seen? Well, Zuckerberg is the face of Facebook, but I mean, when it comes to basically Facebook, do you see like the vice president there? No. And it can't be about you anymore. And Bernice, you brought up a great point earlier. It has to be about what's in it for them. So here's a question to you. So if our face is basically intrusive, right? And we're sticking our nose where it doesn't belong, essentially. What about having photos, and of course, get the written permission of your clients to do this naturally, having a photo of a past client with a testimonial blurb on a card?
Absolutely brilliant, because then that's third party, but you've always got to make that testimonial so it's about the person reading the card.
Yes, it'd be like, oh my gosh, this is such a wonderful experience. In the past, the real estate has been a real problem child for us. This experience has been amazing with Greg McDaniel. He made it simple and smooth. I highly recommend him. He made our lives a dream. Something like that.
Yeah,
Of course.
rather than on a postcard where I'd want that on video and plaster it everywhere you can. Every video Yeah.
Absolutely.
That video testimonial is huge. But in terms of one of the biggest mistakes that people make on their postcards is that they don't have a call to action. So, if you have a testimonial, there's no call to action there. So the calls to action that you can have, contact me to find out what the latest sales are in this area. Yeah, everybody does that.
Everybody.
Yeah. Other kinds of things you can do, though, are, do you need help with your credit? We have a resource. Or first-time buyer, would you like to learn how to get down payment assistance to purchase a property? Contact me. So, and again, you're targeting when you're mailing, that kind of piece. You want to mail into a place where there's essentially high-end rentals or people who are, renting homes. So you know that they've got the money. And again, REI Source can pull that kind of information out for you.
I just had an idea and I really like it. So don't kick me in the kneecaps, to stand out a little bit. Okay. So I love the call to action has to be something that's going to be done in any marketing piece, right? But what is one thing none of us do when we send something out? We never give before we want something to be received to us. Now, this is so simple, guys. It is so cost efficient. Shit, I mean, shoot, guys, you guys are already spending money. Why don't you go down? Let's say you're going to send out 500 postcards or 500 letters, right? Well, I'll get into the ugly part in a minute. But what about you go down and you get 500, or just say 100, make it easy, 100 lotto scratchers for $1 each.
People have done that for a long time. It's very effective.
It's very, and you know what I'm going to do, Bernice? I'm thinking about it this year. Let's just say it's a lotto ticket. I'm going to take that and I'm going to staple my business card to it. And I'm going to try to hand out 5 of these a day. If you
Interesting. Well, I tell you what, let's check back with you after a couple of weeks and see how, if you're getting conversions from that. Okay. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I do want to get back to one other thing that we haven't talked about. And of the marketing pieces that I received, I would say 70% were from agents or companies who wanted to buy my house, other than the big names like Zillow or Open Door or whatever, say, we'll pay cash for your house. And it was like, you want to talk about absolutely totally ugly. These things were unbelievable. So my first, a couple of them were, they tried to pretend to be handwritten. They were on college rule paper. One of them was even yellow. And and it was computer written. I mean, it was so bad. It's like you're trying to fake something that was handwritten. And then I left, a handwritten postcard that I did get from home investors, but instead of writing house, they wrote horse.
That's something I would do.
I want to write it. They want to write an offer on our horse. I don't have a horse. I have a house, but I don't have a horse.
Sure, man. I'll sell you a horse. No problem. It's over in the pasture. No problem.
And then I love this. My brother's last name is the same as mine, but his middle name is Ray. So, I love the emails that I get, or the mailing pieces I got that are addressed to the Ray family. You can't even get our names right off the property records in California. What is wrong with you?
A lot of weed smoking in California. Apparently, everyone can't figure out.
It's just as bad as your property owner.
Current resident.
Yeah. And then, then I referenced this one before, but if you're mailing out a state, you do not want to have that little phrase "or current resident," because if they do not own a property in your state, you're marketing to someone who is not in your state. You're not licensed to do business with them unless they come to California to buy it. So the idea that that you can market your property, but when you're soliciting business, as in trying to get a listing, then that's an issue.
Wait, you could refer it out, couldn't you? Like, let's say you're an agent, I could refer it to you in Austin.
It's great. It's better not to go there. Watch the boilerplate on stuff.
You know what? California's a big enough state, man. I don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
it's creative, but is it effective? you know,
Exactly.
and you're in that gray area. I mean, do you really want to stay in the gray,
Yeah.
or do you rather just work in your stay in your sandbox and play in your sandbox?
The trainer and the person who's been in court a whole lot of times, because I got subpoenaed when whenever they sued our company, they wanted the training records. I tend to err on the side of being super conservative. I do have one other thing. So two of the pieces I received, they said, please keep this letter for future reference. And the other one says, please keep it for your records. I have enough paper in my life. I'm trying to get paperless. Why would I keep your marketing letter except to show this dumb?
Why? I mean, yeah, okay. Glamour Shots called from the 80s and they want their photo back. All right. And I'm not quite sure why I'm going to keep this so I can just reference back. Oh, you did have a big perm. Oh, okay. I can see it now. But I again, it's creative, but is it effective? And you know what? If there was a way to go back and just see how many people actually kept the records. It's not about, okay, when I first got in the business with my father, he was sending out I remember stuffing envelopes for him for years to send out his newsletter, right? And he wrote it. It was like chicken scratch, but he wrote it and it was effective. But people actually cared because they know that he put time into it because he talked about personal stuff. I went to a listing appointment with him one time, and this family took a giant bag looking thing and then just dumped all of his past newsletters out on the table and said, Terry, we've been following you for years. We wouldn't hire anyone else but you. And it's because it was a personal thing, not a production thing. It wasn't about how easy can it be. It's like, how much can I give to my community so that they know who I am.
Oh, Greg, I think that's a great place to end, because that's the takeaway, whether you're using the social media, whether you're marketing in print or any other way. It's really about serving the customer. And then the connection is, everybody wants to say, well, I did, I'm number one, or I'm number this or whatever. But yet when you're posting on the social media, only 5% should be about you. The other 95% should be about the person or personal things, but not about your business. So right. What's the final takeaway that you have for our viewers today?
Final takeaway, Bernice, is I want to tell them, I love all of you guys for watching, but I want you to get ugly. Now, what do I mean by ugly? I want you to be non-incestuous anymore. There's a great book that I love. It's called Blue Fishing by a gentleman. His name is Steve Sims. And what he talks about in this book is how to be insanely ugly in your marketing. Now, he's a big lug nut from England. He used to be a bricklayer, but now he's a marketer. And I picked this book up, and the tip that I found that was so uniquely simple and so profoundly impactful is this. For any of you that travel, okay, you can go to any hotel, pick this little piece of paper up where you can write note cards on it, right? Now, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to read this, but that says Tokyo, okay? When I was in Tokyo last year, I grabbed a stack of these from the hotel. And then what he says is also take a Sharpie and then write the name. This is for my car insurance, obviously, but write on the front of this thing, big and ugly, with a Sharpie. But then you write on this piece of paper, because when people get the handwritten addressed letter with a letterhead from Tokyo, they're going to be like, who in the heck is from Tokyo? What is going on here? And you can write small little letters to people all the time, maybe one or two a day, and you will get the open rates. I would say 100% of the open rates would happen. So read the book, become ugly, and don't fall into the trap of mass production. Take the time to hit the right people, not everyone. So that's my takeaway. Bernice, what's yours?
I just want to, it's what I said before, is about really making that personal connection and making it about them, not about you.
Yeah, it's so true. Guys, get off your high horse. You ain't that cool, okay?
It's a long ways down if you fall, too. That's the other thing.
It is a long ways down. It is a long ways down. Well, this has been fun. I know that I've enjoyed the heck out of this. I needed to blow off some steam, so this is like a perfect show for us today.
Well, I want to thank all of you for being with us, and join us next week for our show.
All right, guys. See you later. Have a great day.